Look, your hair is amazing today. You know what? That was such a great idea. That is such a great idea to slow the post office down. You know what? What if we rethink it? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he likes compliments. Give him compliments. Who cares? Politicians are smarter than we give them credit for. They are very intelligent, and they can think of plans. In fact, they're paid. Their job is to help our government run smoother, but they refuse to do so because there's no benefit in it to them. All my videos won't be about politics and stuff. Like, I like fun stuff. Did y'all check out Chrissy? If you didn't check out Chrissy, you should. I like money. I like money just as much as the next guy. That's why I was so hesitant to even call myself a socialist because I like money. I just think that we can all have it. I'm gonna sing my song, not your song. Can't get it wrong, cause it's my song. You can sing along, don't get it wrong. It's my song. You can go and sing your song, and my song will stay strong, cause I believe in my song. What I don't like about politicians, about politics, about any of it, is that at the end of the day, their job is to make laws, to set policy, to make laws, to make our country better. And right now, I don't think they are doing that. I don't think. Like, I'm done doubting the things that I know. We all know, and they know, that they are not doing their best to make our country better. Last presidential election cycle, right? That was 2016, right? The primaries were not over before the media started talking about the election in 2020. I don't have to find a clip. I don't have to search my memory. Y'all know what happened. If you watch any of the coverage, you saw that these fools were talking about 2020 and we hadn't even gotten out of the primaries for 2016. And y'all are talking about 2020. So what does that do? That means all politicians are doing, they're spending so much time fundraising. They are spending so much time fundraising and so much time trying to, placate to their special interests and so much time trying to meet and greet with lobbyists and all this BS that it's hard to do your job. I know that, in HR and even in real estate. So in HR, what will happen is you have HR functions that you have to do. You have paperwork, you have planning, you may have, just organization things you have to do. But then in the midst of that, you have employee relations. And so in part of that, you have employees in your face all day, right? And to me, that's what politicians are doing with fundraising. It's like, they have staffs to run, bills to write, meetings to go to, but they are spending a chunk of time trying to raise money and do the money relations with their donors and lobbyists and all these people, right? And I just wish, let me calm down. Why am I getting so annoyed? I'm getting annoyed because I'm going to say something common sense that just won't happen because people in our country, in our government, in our world, they make dumb decisions and they make things that are simple complicated, right? Because to me, it seems very freaking simple that you don't need to be worrying about your election until your election. So if Nancy Pelosi's term is 6 years, for 5 years and probably about 6 months, she does not need to be fundraising and meeting with donors. You don't need to do that. You don't need to be making decisions based on your election 5 years down the road, right? And it's like, I know they do this because I was in a mock Senate at Texas A&M. And one of the things that turned me off from politics was that when I was doing it, it was fun. It was a game to me. It was a game for me because somebody would have a bill and then one of my fellow senators would say, hey, if you vote for me, but vote for my bill, then I'll vote for your bill. Or if you do this, because I was the caucus leader. So if you can get me, even 50% of the caucus to vote for this bill, then I can do A, B, and C for you. I loved it. It was great. Until it dawned on me that that is the way the government works, and it shouldn't. It doesn't make any sense that y'all are up there trading favors to lobbyists and donors when you're supposed to be looking out for the good of the American people, all of us. Okay, that's common sense. That's common sense. I still haven't said what I wanted to say. And my problem is that they spend so much time thinking about re-election, and in nobody's stretch of the imagination should you be spending, if you have a job, like if I'm doing a real estate transaction, it makes no sense for me to spend the majority of my job doing one real estate task that isn't even the main task. So common sense would say, hey, let's not campaign. It should be in bad taste. It should put a dirty taste in someone's mouth if you're elected and then less than a few months into your term you're talking about raising money for your re-election campaign. And don't get me started on the FEC you can see how much money they have left over for their elections. It's like you have millions of dollars of cash on hand, and you have the audacity. Nancy Pelosi asked me for $10, and she has millions of dollars sitting in her election account. And you want me to give you $10. Okay, I still haven't got to my point. Maybe that's my point. My point is that there are things that are common sense. And I will say, I used to think that I was smarter than people. And when I realized that I'm just normal, and that actually people who I thought I was smarter than, I'm not smarter than Nancy Pelosi. I'm not smarter than Ted Cruz. I'm not smarter than, I'm trying to think of a politician. I don't feel like thinking of them right now. I just got a message. I'm not smarter than them, right? And I know this. So then if I'm not smarter than them, why is it that I'm thinking of these basic solutions and they can't? Oh wait, they can, and they do, and they know, but they're gaslighting us because they know that it does not take all of this effort and time to legislate. And the vast majority of their jobs, they spend fundraising and building, marketing. And that is so excruciating for me. Case in point, the post office. The post office thing, that's why I'm like, I can't, and I won't get up in arms about it, because you're gonna tell me that all these intelligent people, because first, remember, I don't have to, this is a new information. All of us know that I remember when it happened, that they forced the post office to fund all of these years of pension in advance. Okay, fine. Y'all did it together, bipartisan. Ooh, kumbaya. Y'all decided it was okay. And now all of a sudden, when Mr. Trump decides that he wants to dismantle the post office, I don't know why. I get people say it's because of Bezos. People say it's because he doesn't want people to vote by mail. makes me no difference. However, whatever reason it is that he decides that he wants to dismantle it, now my crew, the left and Democrats, now I'm supposed to be pro post office, and my boy, one of my favorite, John Oliver, telling me to go buy stamps because Donald Trump is going to use the post office to destroy votes. And you think I believe that? I don't. You're not going to tell me that 535 people more than that, because that's 535, that's just the Congress and House, right? That's not all of the local politicians, governors, mayors. That's a lot of people with a lot of intelligence floating around. And you're not going to, and the people who work at the post office, who make leadership decisions, you're not going to convince me that they could not come up with some sort of plan to get ballots from people to the location on time to be counted. That's what you're trying to tell me? You're trying to tell me, let me tell you what I do. I can't remember the last time I voted. I vote, but I vote by mail, right? But I never put it in the mailbox. In fact, one time I put it in the mailbox and it came back to me. That was a long time ago. So what I do is I fill out my ballot, and then on election day, I walk past all the people in line as they wait hours to vote. I walk past all of them through the door and drop my ballot in the box of people for mail-in voting. So you're telling me that none of these people could come up with a day for their constituents and say, hey guys, how about you guys pay an armed security guard, since so much voter fraud, you pay an armed security guard to guard this box, and you have people deliver their mail-in voting ballots, and they're just dropping off in the box. It's not a long line, you just drop them off in the box. And then if you have granny who can't get out the house, or somebody who's afraid because they don't want to leave the house, because they're afraid they may get sick, you mean to tell me that there's no way to get a ballot from them, to get it to the location on time? I could come up with a plan. I won't, because they could come up with a better plan if they wanted to help. And that's my issue. You don't. It's like y'all can't come up with simple operational plans because you'd rather spend the time arguing amongst each other and making us American people argue amongst each other. I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, I'm a progressive. Let's fight. Let's fight. Let's fight about who's better. Let's shoot each other and fight. Democrats, Republicans, fight. No. That's what people are doing. That you're fighting over a part. So anyway, they sow that discord among us, the people, and then we actually believe it when they gaslight us and tell us that they can't come up with a plan to get ballots to the correct ballot location, when we know except for the post office. That's the only way. Even though we have until November. Y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead and be upset and mad and rah, but I'm not about to get myself bent out of shape. This is the system that they have designed, and I will work within the system, but the system ain't gonna worry me. Y'all can stay worried and have heart attacks, mad at Republicans, mad at Democrats, mad at independents. You're not voting for Joe? To button this, my button is this. Politicians are smarter than we give them credit for. They are very intelligent, and they can think of plans. In fact, they're paid. Their job is to help our government run smoother, but they refuse to do so because there's no benefit in it to them. Half of them I wish I could, I'm not going to do it because I have stuff I got to do besides that. But I would like to know how many people in Congress have worked like other jobs and how long it has been. And I'm going out on a limb here and saying that most of them have not had like regular 9-to-5 jobs where you don't get to take a break in the middle of the year unless you're fired, you know? And so that's who we have running the government. They're intelligent, and if we forced them to make actual plans and actually govern, then they might just try to find ways around that, but they might. Have I been talking? Oh, good. Anyway, that's it. I'm not going to get all up in arms about things like that, because if they wanted a solution, there would be a solution. And that's me for anything I see where, to me, the solution is very simple. Like, most people will be like, my friends will be like, well, Chrissy, you just don't have all the information. It's not that simple. No, some things, no, listen, like, I'm not a Trump-esque. Like, Donald Trump will be like, I can solve the issue between Israel and Palestine. Like, I know that that's not simple. That's not simple. But something like the problem is people don't want to go outside to vote. And so mail-in voting makes sense. But we have a president who clearly doesn't want mail-in voting because he doesn't want, a lot of people voting, because if a lot of people vote, he loses, right? So that's the issue is, how do we get people's ballots? The obstacle is we can't use the post office. Now find the solution. And you're not going to tell me there isn't one, because there is. But there's no point in trying to think of a solution when they don't want one. They just want to argue. They rather argue than come up with solutions. Like, even the whole Trump thing. Trump, listen, he's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. I don't care. You can be a Trump supporter, but if you are a Trump supporter, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to pretend he isn't a narcissist. You know he is. Come on. But I've worked for narcissists. I've worked with narcissists. But my goal isn't to butt heads with the narcissist. My goal is to get stuff done. So I'll be like, oh, you know what? Look, your hair is amazing today. You know what? That was such a great idea. That is such a great idea to slow the post office down. You know what? What if we rethink it? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he likes compliments. Give him compliments. Who cares? It's like, it's people in their pride. That's the thing about being black. I'm sorry, Pumpkin. I'm screaming at this. That's the thing about being black, a black woman, is that some of us, yes, we're not a monolith, but some of us definitely have pride. And, like, for example, my pride of never, following this guy who blocked me. But overall, we find a way to work around. And don't get it twisted, because I know, listen, Maxine, I love Maxine Waters. She is not trying to work around. But I think I love her. I love her. However, she's caught up in that system of people who don't want things to work. Because if you really wanted it to work, you know your boss is a narcissist. You just go ahead, compliment him, and get your agenda done. It's like, that's just like having a boyfriend. He just, you do things, you finesse things so that you can get done what you need to get done. That's what politics is supposed to be about, if it must be about something other than governing, not raising money, getting policies together. That's it. It's just, I just get frustrated that it seems to me that they don't want to accomplish things. And it'd be different if them not accomplishing things didn't benefit them, but it does. It benefits them. It benefits them when we're fighting against each other, and it's like, oh, what? He said what? Let me donate. I've done it. I've done it. Listen, people would say stuff about Bernie, and I would be like, I'm about to give my Bernie. Every time somebody says something, I was pulling out my wallet. I get it. But I wish that they were able to actually get things done and then just not worry so much about getting reelected until like closer to the election or something. That's it. It's not going to change. I'm just, I guess, talking. Thanks for watching me talk, because I'm Chrissy and I be talking.
Get it wrong, it's my song. You can go and sing your song.